In this video, you're gonna learn how to improve your finances by at least 72%, even if you're just starting from zero. No fluff, no guilt, just proven steps that actually work. And make sure you watch until the end because I have a special surprise just for you. That being said, let's get into step 1. The very first step that you want to do is you need to be completely honest with where you are financially. And in order for this to work, you need to get a list of certain things. You need to know your monthly income. What are your total monthly income? From your 9-to-5 job, from your side hustles, they all count. The next thing that you need to do is list out all your expenses, your variable expenses, your fixed expenses. You need to break down your debt also. You know, the minimum payments every month, the interest on each debt, and the total amount of each debt. Check your assets. What are your current assets? You know, your savings, investments, or even a car. To be honest, a car isn't actually an asset, but the current value of the car is an asset value. So that could also be helpful. Then you need to pull up your credit score. Where do you stand on your credit score? See, all these things are so important to have because you cannot fix what you don't know. The reason why you need all these things is it helps you get clarity on where you are financially. Step 2 is super crucial, especially for people that do not have any form of savings. Step 2 is we need to free up more money quickly, preferably a minimum of $500 to $1,500. The question is, if I'm living paycheck to paycheck at this moment, how can I actually do this? What you can do is you can cancel out any subscriptions that you have that you are not currently using. You can negotiate your bills, your internet bills, your phone bills, whatever bills you have. The moment you purchase services from these companies, these guys work for you. Now, this next part, most people might not like it, but you need to slash non-essentials. You do not need to be paying for Uber Eats every single night. I get it. You come home from work, you're tired, but that doesn't still cut it. You cannot be spending money unnecessarily for no damn reason. The next step is actually my favorite step, and it is build yourself a guilt-free budget that doesn't feel like a budget. 50 to 60% goes into your needs, things that you cannot live without. Rent, car insurance, things that you need on a day-to-day basis, hydro, different things like that. And then 10 to 20% goes into your wants, things that you actually like doing, going out to eat, buying clothes, shopping, different things of that nature. And then you have 10 to 20% that goes straight into savings and investments, no questions asked. It's important to do this because you need to give every single dollar a job. Money cannot control you. If you don't tell money what to do, money will tell you what to do. The next thing that you need to do is, if you have debt, you need to clear out those debts quickly, like no questions asked. Those debts, they need to go. But there are multiple strategies that you can use in order to achieve this. You could use the avalanche method, which is basically you take care of the highest interest debt first, and then you go on to the lower interest debts. Or you could use the snowball method. Moving on to step number 5, this is something that multiple people talk about. At this point, it sounds like a broken record, and it is you need an emergency fund. Minimum $1,000 to $3,000 starting. Most people are like, oh, I have no savings, I have no investments. How in the world am I going to get an emergency fund? If you're in certain countries, for example, Canada or in the US, there's something that people usually get, and it is called tax refund. Tax refund is not free money. Tax refund is money that the government actually owes you, and that money can be used to build your emergency fund. Most people get like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, or even $4,000. So that solves the problem real quick. And the moment you get that money, put that money in a high interest savings account. The next step number 6, is you need to start investing. There's no two ways about this. And most people will say, oh no, take care of every other thing first before you actually start investing because you don't have the money to do that. But I'm different. It doesn't really matter if you have a lot of money. The most important thing is to build a habit. The longer you wait before you start investing, the smaller your potential income is in the future, right? I'm of the opinion that regardless of if you have debt, any form of debt at all, even if it's $50, $20, the goal is to start investing early and build a habit. If you're in Canada, you can open up a tax-free savings account. The government cannot touch any interest that you gain on your money. If you're in the US, you could open up a Roth IRA. If you're in the UK, you can open up an individual savings account. All these accounts are tax sheltered. So whatever profit that you make cannot be taxed by the government. So it's super important to do this. Just so you know, investing is actually so easy. It's so easy that it should be boring. The moment you start looking at graphs, seeing, oh, the stock market is going down, oh, the stock market is going up, then you're not really investing. You're probably a day trader, or you're probably just doing some weird stuff. But that is not investing. Investing is supposed to be long-term. Investing is boring. Like, it is it is boring. But on the long term, it actually pays off. The next thing that you need to do, this is step number 7, is you need to develop your mindset. There's something important that the Bible says, and this is Jesus talking. Jesus says, you cannot put new wine in old wineskins. Let's say you have $1 million in debt. I personally, I want to help you out. I give you $3 million. You clear out your debt of $1 million, and then you have $2 million left. But now this is the thing. We never tackled the issues that was going on prior that even got you into that debt. And if I give you that $3 million and then you have $2 million left after you cleared out your debt, guarantees you're going to get back into more debt. So you need to change your mindset. You need to rewire the way you think about money. You need to rewire the way you talk about money. You can't be saying things like, I am so bad with money and I am terrible with money and me and money don't get along, and you expect to be in a better place financially. Now, moving on to step number 8. A lot of people don't necessarily have a savings problem or a spending problem. Most people just have, I don't have enough income problem. A lot of people usually, even if they're making like $200,000 a year, are just like, I don't have enough money. If that's you, then this is not for you. But most people are just making like $30,000 a year. $50,000 a year, and you're living in a really, really expensive city. Groceries is high, rent is high. So for those people, it might just be an income problem. So the question is, how can we increase your income? Can we ask your boss for a raise? Can we do that? Can we start a side hustle? Can we start a small business? Something that doesn't require a large capital to start, but something that you could basically just start doing right away. Babysitting, dog walking. If you have any form of skills like video editing skills, website design, you could, pitch your services to people that actually need it. Get on platforms where you're able to showcase what you can actually do and start making money quickly. And just before you go, if you're in your 20s or your 30s and you're feeling stuck, the next video is for you.